hurricane now on.
Now take a look at how much the color of the water has changed as lava has inundated and filled Copojo Bay. It is now this murky, dark gray. You can see dead fish, unfortunately, floating here.
Players must always be prepared to play in all kinds of weather conditions.
We all know how crazy last year was.
Volcanoes.
One of the most amazing concoctions that Mother Nature can stir up are hurricanes. These are huge heat engines that can expand hundreds of miles wide and unfortunately produce a tremendous amount of destruction.
And we're asking people to make sure that they understand the risk that Mother Nature, can hit them with.
Start of hurricane season. Many coastal communities are facing an uncertain fate
because the Earth needs a lot of help regulating temperature.
This caused by how hot the lava is. It's the hottest it's been since eruptions began in early May.
May 2018 was the hottest in 124 years of May records across the lower 48. There were actually more than 8,500 warm temperature records broken or tied in the month of May.
Nature's heat engines, the hurricane.
We want to give people as much notice as possible.
Well before landfall.
Harvard researchers say 4,645 people died as a result of the hurricane. The government's official estimate is 64.
This 400-year-old lake in Hawaii is gone, vanished, kaput. And it happened in just a few hours. Green Lake evaporated after lava from Hawaii's Kilauea volcano seeped in. And just like water on a hot stove, the lake water boiled away.
Definitely have a different plan going into this year's hurricane season.
Let's bring this hurricane down and talk a little bit about it.
As far as the tropical systems in June, where we see the typical origins would be generally down in the Western Caribbean or the Gulf of Mexico or off the southeast coast.
Tuesday's explosion took many by surprise as volcanologists had said the eruption of Guatemala's Fuego volcano was over for the near future.
A new study indicates Hurricane Maria may have killed nearly 70 times more people than the official death toll indicates.
So find out today if you live in an evacuation zone and leave when told to do so, because evacuating is the only way to stay safe.
Oh, we just had a little bit of an early season storm, subtropical storm, Alberto, but it really affected a lot of people. It went all the way from the Gulf of Mexico all the way up into Canada. Not every day you see that. A little bit early in the season to see that.
We have the first named hurricane in the Eastern Pacific.
I mean, look at this. Literally within a matter of seconds, it turns into this absolute monster.
Rescue efforts, meanwhile, have been suspended. This as authorities warn it is too dangerous for workers to even get close.
We have no idea what's going to happen. Only God knows.
Volcanoes.
There's a good chance you will come across a hidden danger that can be easy to miss.
Severe storms ripped through St. Francis County in eastern Arkansas Saturday night, injuring one person and destroying an airport.
Here's a close-up shot so you can see how violent the motion actually is at the bottom of that storm. And
strong tornadoes are rare in some parts of the country, and that includes Wyoming. But one of those rare events happened Friday, and that's when an EF3 tornado touched down near Gillette, Wyoming. It is the first time a confirmed EF3 or EF4 tornado has hit the state in over 30 years.
Strength of the winds, angle of approach, and coastal geography. From the rising storm surge. A hurricane's biggest killer, storm surge. It's the primary reason we evacuate.
The hardening mud and ash covers extremely hot material below the surface. In fact, firefighters say temperatures in places remain as high as, get this, 1,300 degrees Fahrenheit.
Well, with every engine, you need fuel. Water temperatures around 80 degrees. Let's bring this hurricane down and talk a little bit about it.
Back to business as usual. What does that mean?
Stay cool.
How do you get people ready?
That's a problem.
Fair enough.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, here's the good news.
It's main event time.
But the thing is, there's still going to be a lot of moisture associated with it, especially along the coast of Mexico.
Lava has been flowing and spewing out of Kilauea for several weeks, wiping away roads, homes, and most everything in its path.
We've been having ongoing communication, so that's been really important, the partnership.
So interestingly enough,
as winds around a hurricane ramp up at the ocean surface, they kick off a circulation below with no restrictions. But as the storm nears the coast, the ocean becomes increasingly shallow.
The June temperature outlook is looking mighty hot across the plains and the west. As we take a check, though,
on the first floor, she's right now standing on top of her counter screaming.
How much water is in the building now?
It's going halfway up the inside of the building. She's screaming at the top of her lungs.
Okay, about how much water is in the street?
The street is covered halfway, honey.
Okay.
Because my car is gone, and there's several cars that's gone down the street.
Okay.
God, this is worse than the last one.
Hurricane 911.
I was just on the phone with my friend.
Okay, is she able to get out at all?
No. Okay, man, there's so many of us.
How many people are in the store?
There's like 100 at least.
All right, try to get people to higher ground as you can inside, all right?
We can, but it's filling with water, man.
I know. We're going to come as fast as we can, honey. I promise you we're coming as fast as we can, okay?
Please help us. There's
All right.
Are we going to die, man? Is this going to so
No, honey, I'm going to do my best so that does not happen, okay?
Flooding.
See, a lot of mud and a lot of water went inside that vehicle.
It's the #1 natural disaster in the U.S. And flooding is the leading cause of weather-related fatalities in this country.
Not too many people have cars made for this around here.
And the single worst decision you can make is to drive a vehicle into floodwaters of unknown depth. That's because a foot of water can exert up to 500 pounds of force on a stalled vehicle. 2 feet of water can double that force and add up to 1,500 pounds of buoyancy, enough to easily carry away most automobiles. In fact, that's because a foot of water can exert up to 500 pounds of force on a stalled vehicle. 2 feet of water can double that force and add up to 1,500 pounds of buoyancy, enough to easily carry away most automobiles. In fact, 64% of flood deaths in 2015 occurred in vehicles.
That is perfectly clear.
Does it feel like the weather has just been really weird this year?
Oh, so you gotta start watching things very carefully.
Move or die.
What do you stress the most to people as we head into a new hurricane season?
So every hurricane's different.
Kiss me like you miss me.
But what really needs to happen is that preparedness has got to go all the way down through to you, the citizen.
The truth is, we just don't know. We don't know what to do. But I think we have to stay calm and pray.
Significant change to the coastline here of the Kapoho and Vacation Land area. Take a look at this massive plume of lava haze that is billowing upwards from what once was the Kapoho Vacation Land area. This laze, of course, a health hazard. This is what happens when lava makes contact with salt ocean water, releasing hydrochloric acid that sends fine glass particles into the air. Not just a health hazard to your respiratory system, but also an irritant to your eyes and skin.
It can get uncomfortably hot inside a vehicle that's been baking in the sun all day.
We now have Hurricane Bud.
Hey, Bud, let's party.
That's right, strengthening as expected and making it to hurricane status. Now, potential for a direct hit on Cabo San Lucas.
Hey, Bud, what's your problem?
Tropical storm force wind probabilities, these expand well beyond the center of the storm. So we're going to see high risk of rip currents, certainly some very rough surf from Mexico's shorelines.
Aloha.
We actually saw the glow from the fountaining from Fissure 8 here on the water. You could see from so many miles away just the incredible impact that it has had. Again, more dead fish here at the top of the water. Yesterday we saw several sea turtles as well. Just some of the impact as a result of this eruptive event, which began on May 3rd, more than 4 weeks ago.
You dick!